Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the final race on F1 23. I am Big Mama Frank, also known as Joseph Huerta. That's the name my parents gave me. I'm here with Ethan Cornelius Patel, the old Technic Speedy, tonight for this broadcast. And tonight we have Division 3. And we have a little bit of a spicy championship battle for tonight. I think technically we have 3 people who are still alive in the championship. We have our championship leader. How about get audio back? There we go. There it is. Yep. We have our championship leader who we see on intermediates in this full qualifying session. Here we are in Q1. Joel Garon currently leads the championship. He only needs to finish P6 or higher, and he will secure the championship. Avira, who is 19 points behind him, we'll pull up our standing. Oh, and there it is. Joel with a 19-point lead on Avira. So it's a long shot for Avira and a potentially Kiwi to win the championship, but crazy things can happen as long as everyone's racing. So we are... And also looking at the combined constructors, or not combined constructors, the constructors championship here for Division 3, excuse me. We also have a very close battle. Mercedes, who has already secured the combined constructors, as you can see there on the screen, are down in P3. AlphaTauri has a solid chance to take the constructors championship here. But Alfa Romeo in a really nice spot to win both championships here with Division 3. J Street's been showing out very nicely in the back half of this season for Ahmed and Alfa Romeo. But even then, after that, it's still very close. So Mercedes can still pop up there. Red Bull probably not, with Garrett Elder not finishing the season with us tonight. We have a reserve. I believe we have Gerald, also known as Logan Sargent, and on our screen there, right behind our standings page, we have, I believe that's Kagenis, Red Panda Kagenis, on a push lap with Sobs, actually spinning out in the second sector there.
Unfortunate at the start of Q1. Trying to set up socks there.
Yeah, he had a solid lap. Looks like everyone else is on intermediates. Everyone else is in the 28s on their first sector. And this is the only one in the 27s. Just still a really slow first sector, if I recall correctly. A lot of people on intermediates. We'll just kind of find somebody here. But we actually have MJW pushing on soft tires here, setting the fastest second sector by quite a bit. As I said, most people are on intermediate tires for this first run. Let me go ahead and pull that detail up for us so we can see which tires everyone is currently sitting on. So 28.6, that is well off the pace for kind of what we expect pole will be, what we'll likely see in Division 3. I would say we'll probably see something like a mid to high 25 will be our pole time when we get to Q3. Cutoff in this session will probably be something like a 26.6 or 26.7, I would think, or maybe even a 27.
You go 27.
Yeah, maybe something like that. So, with Steven Alvarez joining and hopping in the Williams, we will have 19 people for this session. So we'll have 4 people will be left behind when we move on to Q2. So, with one less person to have to beat, that's just a little bit less pressure for everyone else. We actually have Rigraff pushing on soft tires back here. Ethan, the team principal of Alpine, so this is his numero uno here in Division 3. Kind of has a very unlucky second half of the season. Was in the championship battle for a while, scoring a number of podiums this season. But with the luck of having Carl in the race at the same time as him, has definitely hurt him. So there he is, already into the
At
26s already.
26.8.
So 26.8, that'll definitely with with your kind of our prediction here of a high 26 or a 27 or so as the cutoff. It's possible Rigraff won't have to go back out again.
Yeah, and if I'm him, I'm just gonna sit in the pits, wait for him to set the lap, see what it's like. I don't expect these to go out again.
Yeah, and with the magic of telemetry, we are showing a completely dry session all the way through qualifying and all the way through the race. We have some clouds during the race, so the temperature might be a little bit lower. Also, nice thing that we can point out here is with this game's introduction of the tire allocation choice, or I guess that did come out last game, but like midway point, but whatever. With the tire allocation decision you have at the beginning of each lobby, we can actually go through and see what everyone else's tires are. We actually have Rigraff on the balanced tire allocation, so he has a set of mediums available to him in qualifying. See Carl setting a 27.2 on the mediums, which is a very respectable lap. As we see Logan Sargent, also known as Gerald in Discord, who has set a 27.2 for his first lap time. Now, Ethan, I know this season hasn't been the... Ooh, we see Gerald spin. So, we know this season hasn't necessarily been the season you would have liked to have for Alpine. Last season, you definitely had a much more successful season. But even with that said, you still had Cam Bourne, who, even though he wasn't very close to Ryan at the end of the season, he still mathematically could have beat him in the final race that we did yesterday. So, I mean, even with that, even with the kind of disappointing kind of half of your drivers in D3 just not really being committed, and D2 just not showing up at all. So
you really don't make the season sound like it had a lot of bright spots.
Well, Cam Bourne and Rigraff. So Rigraff, like I said, he's had a bit of a rough of a second half of a season. Just are all basically killing him 2 races in a row. And then, but Cam Bourne though, that dude is such a special person within our community. Just one of those dudes that just is always grinding, always trying to do better. And he was a dude that was like a back marker D1. Just never wanted to do D2, always just keep me in D1 for so long. And the dude has worked his way up to where he's fighting for podiums every race in our Division 1. Anyone who's raced in D2 this season, had the unpleasant experience of racing in D1. It's so sweaty, man. You can't make any mistakes, or you basically you're completely out of the race. You have to be perfect the entire time. Everyone is so quick. We saw how sweaty those times were yesterday in full qualifying. Definitely kind of blowing my expectations out by quite a bit. The J Street here, who is in contention here for a Constructors' Championship, and I haven't been as open with this as I probably needed to be. I've mentioned a couple of times in the Discord, but Constructors' Champions do get to pick a track, and Ethan, you got to pick a track last season when you had Stelios and Ahmed winning Division 2. I can't remember, what did you guys pick? Spain? Is that what you guys chose?
I believe picked Japan.
Oh, you guys picked Japan. Okay,
I wanted Singapore.
Singapore.
But Stelios is not the biggest fan.
Yeah, so that's kind of, you guys went as a team, you guys get to pick as a team. I figured that was more interesting since a driver's championship is like just enough on its own, just so you just smashed everyone, but a constructor's championship, you have to win as a team, and there's not really a reward for that anywhere. So I figured that would, picking a track for the next season would be a nice, solid reward. I think it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it really rewards like certain teams, because if you're picking first, you're picking second, you're probably gonna get the top tie, right?
Right.
But it's that second driver being able to put in really good points. I mean, in D1, I think Alpine could have had a chance. Stelios should have a really consistent season, but like that would have been a really good second pick to win a constructors championship and not the drivers, right? And picking that track is also really nice. I mean, was it Mercedes? They were able to pick China, which gave Ryan this season a chance at a free win, basically, because that man is rapid at that track.
Yeah, it did, and we saw that. We saw his insane pace that he had last couple weeks back when we did do that track. We had where he the closest runner to him was Nicholas Aro, and he was able to catch up with him before he even pit. So he was just so far in front of everyone.
Yeah, it's just you're able to pick the track that you're able to like excel at compared to. I mean, China's obviously one of those like weird tracks that no one really races like too much in this game, and so when you get good at one of those tracks, you're able to just like abuse that and really get a lot of points from that one race. It's really flags.
Yeah, one thing that I've ever since I kind of took over with ZRL, one thing that's I've kind of struggled with a little bit is just like what kind of philosophy do we want to have for creating our schedules? Like, do we want to follow the F1 calendar as best we can and race whatever they're racing for that week? Or do we want to make something more unique so that every league isn't all racing the same track for the entire week? Vera with a 26.3, so very nice start for him, yeah. But yeah, back to that. It's so I mean, there's been a little bit of just me just kind of throwing crap at the wall, kind of seeing what will stick and what I kind of like and what everyone else kind of likes too. One thing I have noticed, it doesn't really matter what you do. It's there's going to be people complaining about it. So actually, have Joel here setting the fastest first sector. We have Avira, his championship rival here, putting himself on provisional pole, but Joel a little bit quicker through that first sector so far. It's kind of the difference that we see between D1 and D3, even D2, is Joel has a 27.4 through his first sector. In D1 and D2, the quickest guys would be something really, really close to 26s. So just in that first little bit, you can get a longest amount of time. Not setting the fastest sectors too, so Joel's lap time here might be really close to Avira. And there it is, yeah, just 800ths quicker than Avira, so less than a tenth. So that battle's going to be close.
Yeah, and if you're Avira, you're just going to do everything you can. You can only focus on what you have ahead of you, do your own race. Hope it all lines up and you can win the championship.
You can also just like drive Joel into the wall and like do what Duncan did to Maxime a couple years ago and just kill him and then right off into the sunset.
Hey, we have Carl for that.
True. We do have Carl for that. But I think if anybody, Carl will be most likely to kill Joel. So yeah, you're right. So we'll see. I'm looking at our sector times. Doesn't look like anyone's pushing right this second. So
MJW and Guinness is about to start his push lap. This will be his final one. Oh no, wrong corner. This though is straight. He's going to be cautious. He's on his out lap. MJW as well. They need to be able to get into the 26s, I believe.
So right now, yeah, P15 is a 27.5 with Snoop Francis. So that is a target time to beat. I would imagine we'll see a lot of improvement. So maybe a 27, I would say OG's time right now, but 27.2 would be the safe bet.
I would go a step further, maybe a 27 flat, because I definitely see, like, I'm Steven Alvarez. I don't know, he's way down the next lap. So he's on his in lap.
Yeah. So he won't have, it doesn't look like he'll be really having a hustle. He's out of fuel. There's low fuel when you see him on the mini map there.
But I imagine that Cam, Steve Francis are about to come out. Carl's on his out lap.
So we have Chonk here pushing on his second attempt. Chonk, first time race winner this season. Had a lot of lag issues, but he's not improving. Actually, a little bit slower as he crosses that sector 3 line. Unless he has, and he blows the apex at Stowe. Chonk may be in trouble, actually. I think it's surprising actually here if Chonk gets eliminated from Q1. One thing that I tried to make a big effort this week, we had a lot of new reserves join over the last few days. 26.7. Okay, I don't know what that delta was. Okay,
maybe Chonk. It was all from sector. Maybe it was all sector 1.
Okay, so Chonk just completely blowing the lap, just blowing things out of the water there. So Chonk easily going to make it through at that time.
So you got both Ferraris on the way out. At the exit of pit lane, Carl crosses the flag to start his hot lap.
McGinnis, I believe, 2/10 slower than Chonk's time. I believe what that delta is showing. So we have MJW of Chaos, who is out on
MJW
the
has
track.
slowed down. I believe his light's blinking.
MJW will likely be out, I would imagine. Well, we
Well,
have 2 minutes and 25
Yeah,
seconds.
I think he's I think he messed up and they go for a second run.
McGinnis here with a 27-28. Oh, McGinnis just that's
And
just he is out. He will
Carl is
be
currently a 10th
out.
down, or 10th up, I guess. He's gained a 10th.
Yeah, he's up one. He says 7.4 or 1.7 tenths, excuse me, on soft tires. So Carl looks like he may actually
a
go
little
through.
lift.
I'm super confident, potentially. Yeah, kind of really wide angles here.
Yeah, and all he needs is a few tenths.
Yeah, I'd imagine Carl.
And Alvarez is in the pit lane.
So Alvarez in the pit lane with a 136, but not enough time, so he will be hoping that not enough people improve. So right now we have MJW likely out. MJW going into the pits. Gigannis out. So there's 2. Chaos starting his final push attempt here. But a lot of time to improve as he did 28.8. I believe he invalidated at turn 1. So that is everyone out. Or that's 3 people out already. So 1 more. So we have OG who is sitting on that P15 spot, and Snoop Francis who is on his way around to start his final push attack. We have Roldy currently pushing on his final push attempt. I believe with this time he may wind up being safe with Alvarez below him.
And yeah, he's got off the battery.
Campbell Lowry Hart on his push lap here, heading towards a Sector 1 line as we move.
Oh, his Chaos is invalid.
Yeah, Chaos invalidated on his first on turn 1 of his attempt. So OG up a 1.5 tenths, so he's in a position here to push Alvarez into this knockout zone. Snoop Francis also on his push lap. He is up also, so potentially both of these guys, but 5 tenths to improve to beat Alvarez. So we'll have to keep an eye on these deltas. As we go through Magnuson Beckett's with OG here. About to cross this Sector 3 line for the final time in this session. He is up by 4 tenths. So OG looking to put himself in the top 5 potentially.
Is that clean there? That's Snoop Francis. Ooh, he's on the edge. Only 700s there through the Sector 2 line.
So for OG, 26.4 puts him into P3. So excellent lap here. Now we go through Snoop Francis. This is it. This will decide who gets knocked out. If he's going to knock his teammate out, or is he going to be the one knocked out? So let's see. 5 tenths. I don't think he has it. Oh, yeah.
Marginal improvement.
Marginal improvement. So Steven Alvarez, who is replacing his teammate for this final race, starts having some game issues. And so Snoop Francis will be our final person eliminated with a big lag spike there for Snoop Francis. I guess this car is retired. So Chaos, Kagenis, MJW, and Snoop Francis are the unlucky members here in Q1 who will not be proceeding to the next session. But already
it's a double. It's a double McLaren knockout. Just sums up their season.
It really does. One of them is a reserve, and one of them, I believe, in his second race with us as a full-time driver with McLaren here.
Just not a great season for them. They really need a change in leadership, maybe.
Well, Dan has already discussed with me that he will not be continuing with McLaren next season. So at the moment, we do have an empty team principal spot. Not sure how what everyone else's plan is, but I'll have a discussion with the team principals after this race. We'll see where everyone's at. Who needs to retire? Chase Street? Like, what is?
Yeah, he's been on a lap for. He was on the lap for a while too.
We're about to watch Stu Francis' car literally drive the entire in lap. Wait, he just drives by the pit lane. Never mind. Oh, unlucky for Snoop there. Uh, so, oh, it looks like we had OG, we had Roldy, we had OG, Roldy, Rigraff. I believe no, not Rigraff. Fiji and Pratty all use 2 sets of fresh softs. So that'll be something to keep an eye on as we move through these sessions. Soft tires can be very
Man,
precious
for
here.
someone like OG, that's a big blow. You're in the top three, but gonna be slightly different quality from the front two now. See what you can do. You probably have to use a U set, right? To Q2.
Most likely, if my expectation for Division 3 is that most people went balanced. So with balance, you only have 3 sets of fresh tires for Q1 and Q2, 1 set of mediums, and then if you can make it to Q3, you'll have your fresh set for Q3. So with that, it's possible that OG only has 1 set of fresh softs now. Remainder of this session.
So you're using that used one on your first run, and then
Either that or do a
approach.
medium run, like it's
That
F121.
can be.
I know that's something like Cody Lawrence would do very often. Stu
I used to do
Francis
it. I
leading
think
the session.
actually it was this track. Yeah, I got used a medium run, got in the last second into Q3, Q2. It's when Johannes was my teammate. Season 3.
Those
But
are
you see,
that's ancient times at this point, man. Thinking back about how long that is, I can remember me and you racing, particularly that Imola race, dude. We like come out together. We like
yeah.
race the whole race. We come out in the pits, then you gap me by like 12 seconds.
Yeah, at some point I was that guy.
That's
Unfortunately, not anymore.
well, I mean,
As we
even
see Joel
I know
in the
that was
front.
like those days, dude. I was using ABS and traction control and racing line, so it's like
Those days I was on a controller.
true. So yeah, it's quite a long time ago. Me,
Yep. Now we have a lot of new guys, a lot of new faces. League's definitely gotten faster over the years.
it just seems like, particularly since it seems like we have a core of people that kind of stick around. That everyone else just kind of slowly gets faster,
Yeah.
and so it just elevates the floor of the entire league. So it's definitely sweaty. I know when new people come in and they're sometimes, particularly in Division 1, man, they're some people are really taken aback by just how hard it is to race there, because everyone in that league, everyone who's a long-term driver in D1 knows that one position, maybe all they might be able to get to race for the entire race, because everyone's just stuck in a long train and everyone is just so fast. So when people get raced as hard as they do in D1, sometimes they're just not ready for it, and will come out and say, "Man, you guys are so dirty," or "Everyone here stinks," or whatever. It's just kind of what happens, man. Just what happens when you see it in esports too. It's like everyone races for everything all the time because that may be all they can race for the whole race. So
Yeah, exactly. And when it's so competitive, you either rise to the top, you get faster, you start grinding. People like Cam Bourne, Nathan Doan even.
Nathan Donut, yeah,
When
he's someone
when
who
he was racing, he was pretty quick
he,
this season in D1 when he was able to
oh yeah,
practice.
dude. Compared to last season, Nathan
Yeah,
was he got his first podium. Dude was on. Yeah, dude, Nathan was ripping it this
yeah.
season.
And those people rose to the occasion, and then you have some people that are just not able to do that in Major League because they can't compete.
Yeah, and honestly, like another person to point out is Ranger, because I can remember like Ranger winning D2, um, like his first championship here. Like there was a point where Ranger was more towards the back end of kind of the population of the grid, because
Yeah, I was faster than him.
there's that. And I think at some point I was too, and we had I can remember, I can't remember what season was. Maybe 2 seasons ago, we're racing Singapore in D2, and I'm engineering for Duncan, and I'm on Red Bull with him. I'm in D3, Rangers in D2 on Haas. Remember Duncan is like raging, like, how is Ranger so much faster than me, dude? I'm always been faster than that guy. So,
Hey,
because he was like, man, our setup must have been bad because Ranger was beating us. Like, but Ranger's
it's always the setup.
yeah.
Right? There's the time to beat for now, 26-8. Don't see that staying for too much longer as Carl crosses the line to set a 26-5.
So I believe
It's pretty
Carl
good.
set his time on fresh tires. Joel,
I believe so. He used he used a medium and then a soft in Q1, so you would have 2 sets right here. And so sure you said yes.
Yeah. Vera, there we go, 26.4. So Vera on old tires, Joel on old tires. I'm assuming telemetry's just showing me 0% wear for Joel, so I don't know. It'd be cool if the telemetry would like mark the tires so we can just know ourselves. Rig graph, here we go. Yeah, rig graph. My telemetry is all over the place right now compared to what I'm seeing on screen.
But ring graph will be next across the line. What will it be for him? 26-3.
For rig graph. Okay, so the projection of a high 59, we may have to push that down a little bit because it looks like we may have a bunch of people that may be in the mid 25s when we get to the next session. So even Aaron Green, I believe, pushing on his first push attempt here. And AlphaTauri, like we mentioned before, it's a very good opportunity here to win the win the constructor champions for D3. If I pull this up again for us, they're a little bit ways back from Alfa Romeo, but crazy things can happen. They're technically still in the fight.
Most of the cars coming into the pits now. That's Aaron.
So one thing is good to see, while we're talking about people improving, we have Prati, who at the beginning of this season would not have gotten out of Q1. We did this race, but now this dude is like regularly racing for top 10s. It just looks like Prati, who's brand new to the F1 game this season, so he has improved a tremendous amount. It's just I think there's a lot of small intellectual things, conceptual things that he doesn't really understand yet about tire strategy with the F1 game yet, and he maybe just hasn't had enough tutoring from his team or just anyone else in the league. We have seen him make some tire strategy mistakes in qualifying and in races. But Prati, once he irons these things out, this dude's going to be really fast.
Yeah, man, that's kind of the beauty of D3, right? You get new people, and some people, they might just not improve. They might stay a little stagnant, but it's meant to be a place where you can improve and get to D2 and then get to D1. That's why we have divisions, right? To build up. You're not going to just start out as the fastest guy. You're going to have to build. And racing against people like this, racing in a competitive environment, definitely helps you grow faster. We'll see what he could do in the offseason to get right for next game.
And speaking of someone else to improve, Kiwi, who's only been with us since last season. Kiwi joined right after the start, maybe a couple of weeks into Season 9. And since we only had 2 divisions last season, Kiwi joined, basically drove at the back of the grid by themselves for the whole entire season, but still showed up to every race. So hats off to Kiwi for sticking with it, as Kiwi still is technically, mathematically in the championship battle here, but it would require some wild results in order for Kiwi to win Drivers' Championship. But like we mentioned, AlphaTauri is in the battle for the Constructors. So,
and definitely expect them to do what they can. If they could fight for the win, try to get up there, and crazy things have happened in Formula 1. I mean, we have Carl up there, so
True. So we have Pratty here going into the final sector. Very smooth, very nice on the apex. Very precise here with the apexes here. I think it'll be the 26.7. So very solid first lap here for Pratty. Big Pratty here is on new tires. I have no man. My telemetry is just completely broken.
ooh, it's Felix has a 2-minute lap time. What's wrong there?
Make sure I'm not connected. I'm not. This thing is just broken. I'm sure. I don't know what's going on with that. Easy with the 2-minute, like you. So
He's gonna have to gun it back to the pits.
it looks like he's actually pushing here. He's gonna push now.
Interesting call.
Looks like he'll have just enough fuel to get around. So yeah, it may just be a bit of a run plan error here, but all he has to do is set the right lap, and it won't matter. Francis joins and leaves again. Lucky. Chonk is. Oh, Chonk is burning fuel or something. I don't know what's going on. Chonk has 3.7 laps of fuel for some reason. BG up 1/10 of 25 seconds. So definitely something of an improvement for Fiji here.
Good enough.
A little bit slow through those final two corners. Maybe in the 27 tier. Oh, 26.3.
Oh, so
okay.
just that's full. Yep. Okay.
All right, so he just puts an original pole. We have our perception of things is completely wrong this entire time. A very nice lap there for Fiji. We won't have to go again with that lap time. Avira finishing his second attempt here. Or he has a 26.4 on the board. Probably doesn't actually need to set this lap time. But let's see what Avira. 26.1. So Avira 1-2 Mercedes right now for Q2.
And J Street is in an interesting position. He's on track right now on what would I believe be an in lap. But he looks like he's trying to regen battery. I don't think he can make it into the pits.
I think he's just trying to conserve fuel. He has 0.4 of a lap left.
Oh, makes sense.
So if he, I mean, it's going to be close. He should be in. If he can get into the pits in 45 seconds, he'll easily get around. So he might be better off just pushing as quickly as he can, coasting into the pits.
Yeah, because I think no matter how much you try to fuel save, especially in low fuel mode, as car goes out.
Yeah, there it goes.
Chunk is coming into the pits right now. He'll have time.
He will have time.
He and Alvarez on out laps. And then Sargent. So no one's on a push lap just yet. Which is another thing between the divisions, the run plans.
Yeah.
Get some people at weird times, cause some weird blockages.
One thing that does happen is, like, I guess in my experience, it is more likely to have your engineers for Division 3, just because people are bums like that. But hard to say for sure.
Yeah,
Kiwi pushing on Kiwi's final lap, just going through Cops and invalidating on the exit of Cops. So Kiwi's not going to move. Kiwi actually has time to go back to the start-finish line, but they have no fuel. They have
no fuel. Oh.
Kiwi has 0.9, 0.8, and only about half battery. So Kiwi not setting a single time this whole session. A long shot for the championship, but still in it nonetheless. Will not move on to Q3. Steven Alvarez, down with no time right now, is attempting his first push attempt, or attempting to set his first valid lap of this session.
Gerald is also on a push lap, 5/10 up on something, or I guess his previous lap. So
with that lap, that would put him potentially not much of a no improvement, depending on how much he
Oh no,
actually
8
improves.
tenths. There you go.
8/10. Okay, 8/10 will put him into P8, right over OG. So let's see.
Still has a whole sector here.
We'll follow him through this final sector. We'll start looking for people on push laps behind him. I believe we have Joel coming in behind him. Ooh, very big slide there. This may actually ruin his chances here. Let's see. 26.9, so P8. Only 2 out of the danger, or only 3 out of the danger zone. I believe we have Joel here about to finish his lap. 5/10 up on his time right now, so looking to be close to pole, if not pole itself. There it is, 25.9. So first 25 in Q2. We have Carl pushing into the final sector.
Alvarez
And Steven Alvarez. So Steven Alvarez, no delta for him. So let's see where this puts him. 26.8. So Alvarez into P8. And then Carl, who is finishing his lap here, goes on a provisional pole. So 25.8 for Carl. Brady here pushing. Trying to look at the mini map here. I believe we have an Alpha Tower. I believe Aaron Green all in front, who is in the knockout zone.
As on track as the Ferraris.
Right on here with OG. Hopefully this retirement on track does not interfere with him. The car does get out of the way as it does move towards a marshal stand, so that was not as bad as it could be. So right on board with OG here. He's right on board with Aaron Green as he goes through into the third sector. He's up 4/10, so that would clear him. Ooh, we missed the apex there a little bit on the penultimate corner. Let's see, 26.6. So puts him up in a P7. So now OG in P11, first one to be knocked out here. So again, Kiwi is going to be the first one eliminated.
OG is a 10th up. Hokage is down on his time. Looks like he'll also be out down.
So Pratty improving up to P4 in front of OG. OG only still under 2/10 up. So let's see. Where does this put him? Into P9. So he puts. So Logan Sargent is out.
Just enough.
And I believe we just have Chonk pushing on the back end here, running right into this Williams. Who is this Williams?
Oh,
what the fuck was... He still goes through. Was that Steven Alvarez's car just riding in front of him? Doesn't look like he has any control, but that was really close.
So...
Oh, man.
Last man in the box. I don't remember if I saw him.
Oh, he is pushing. He is going through the final 2 corners here. So man in the box potentially out. Looks like he's going to go through with this lap. P7. So,
and he will knock out OG.
So OG, Steven Alvarez, Gerald, Logan Sargent, Roldy, and Kiwi.
Look at Aaron Green and OG's time.
Oh, that is...
It was fraction.
Literally the same exact time. But Aaron Green set the time first. So he'll be moving through. So unlucky for OG there. So insanely close.
That is unfortunate for him, but look how close this top of the grid is.
It is very, very close. The only difference,
People.
It's gonna be hard to say like how this actually is gonna work because a lot of these people may have not set times, their best times on fresh tires, but very, very close for a lot of people there at the end of that session. Roldy, kind of the odd man out of being, and Gerald kind of being the odd man out for being just not really close to the knockout zone, but Kiwi not setting a time really, really basically kind of kills their chance of making that Hail Mary play into P1 in the championship. A lot of work for Kiwi and a lot of luck for them to make that happen. And Snoop, I will try to invite you as soon as I have goals to do so.
And we were talking about Pratty earlier. Ferrari came into the season with OG as their #1 driver, got a race win. Pratty has out-qualified him into Q3.
Yeah. So like we mentioned before, Pratty, with the big improvements throughout this season, showing out so far in qualifying in a way that we hadn't seen so far. So Pratty is one of those people that we're just going to have to keep an eye on going into the next game, because this dude, like Spanini was telling us that this dude is really fast in other games. So like he may be super rapid at some point.
This may also bring up the question: is Campbell Lowry Hart wash? I think so.
There's only one answer to that. One answer to that question. What it is.
He's too busy being at the Met Gala. Yeah, I believe. Or, oh, never mind, I lied. Yes. Chonk first one out. Same with Carl. Oh, Carl was second one out. So we have footage from Kiwi. The reason they couldn't set a lap, there's a Williams parked on the apex of one
Well,
of the turns somewhere.
that
Who do you think will be on pole for this race?
I think it'll be Joel. I do think it's Joel. I mean, Joel has shown a couple of times this season that he looks like he's completely out of place, or he's been, like just in the wrong division. But other times, he like crashed on the wall or something and looked like he belongs in Division 4. But I think the second half of the season, Joel has really just kind of been found his comfort zone with this game. I think it'll be difficult for everyone else to keep up with him. Joel is someone who's been in every division in our league except for D4. Unless he didn't do D4.
No, he never did.
Yeah, no. So like podium, he's gotten podiums in D1 and things. So he has a pretty big history here. But we'll have to see. I believe we have Chonk here, first one pushing with Carl behind them. Patty on the
That's
medium
a scary
tire.
thing, having Carl behind you.
It is, but he has built up a big enough gap that Chonk should not have any issue.
Chunk is still not flat through cops. Goes a little. Looks good.
So we did see Chonk, actually Carl behind him, setting a 3/10 quicker first sector. So Chonk, bit of a struggle through that first sector. Joel beating him by even more. So Joel is on his first push attempt here. Chonk, I'm assuming is on quite old tires. Looks like telemetry is actually working now correctly.
27-2.
So a lot of improvement there for Chonk who wants to battle for pole. We're looking at pole potentially being almost a second and a half quicker than that, not more. So we'll back here with Carl. He's about to finish his lap at 26.3, and Carl, whose telemetry is still off, who said he will turn it on in the pit lane. Can't really tell if he's on old tires. Joel pushing into the third sector here on old tires. Very, very old tires. See a lot of understeer. Tries to rotate the car there, but he's still going to be in the 26s, so 26.3 for Joel. No,
Green on his push.
I am wondering, what if Carl has the potential to put it on pole?
Showing also at the 27.3.
7.3. I mean, Pratty pushing on medium tires, about to finish their lap. 26.5. So very nice. Yeah, very nice lap for Pratty. G pushing through turn 3 right now. We have man in the box behind him. J Street going into provisional pole. J Street using what look like slightly used soft tires.
As Rigraph bails on his lap, goes into the pit lane. And what happened there? I believe Vera will be the next one to set a lap, but he's all the way in Maggots and Beckett's.
So we're right on board with Avira as he finishes his Q3 lap here. All right, I gotta invite Snoop.
Vera is purple. I don't know if it's a fake one.
Telemetry shows
Just
purple sector 1, green sector 2. J Street's time still quicker in the middle sector. But I imagine they're just older tires for Avira.
so Vera puts it in P2.
Nice. It's actually J Street beating Avira on the same one-use tires, so they both have the same amount of wear. So J Street maybe in that potential conversation for pole actually, but
As Fiji gets it all wrong through the final chicane.
oh yeah, that is he's completely invalid. So you have to go all the way around. 29.6 will be his delta for his final
Man
push.
in the box goes P3.
Man in the box going P3. Man in the box on old tires, even older tires than Joel and Avira and J Streets, excuse me. Still a nice lap for 26.2. So even though I predict Joel, man, it might be just a straight up toss up.
Yes, anyone game that top 5. Probably add Rigraff in there, maybe. Or I guess top 6 probably did his lap on the medium. But who knows?
So about 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in our session. Riding on board here with BG as they invalidated their lap on the final 2 corners. Now they're going to come around. I have to send Snoop Francis 100 invites.
So now we wait until
We have to wait
everyone goes out for their final run.
About a minute and a half, we should start seeing people go out for their final push attempt. And I'm excited a little bit because right now the order's mixed up quite a bit in a very interesting way on these old tire runs. No one has set a lap on fresh tires in this session so far. So everyone will have their fresh, their spanking new, fresh Q3 tires for this push attempt, for their final push attempt.
Yeah, we've been talking about it a lot with like some of the D1 people that joined call D2. Silverstone is really one of those tracks where it's pretty competitive. There's not much, like most people know Silverstone enough to where they could put a competitive lap together in their division. And so it's super close right now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean this track, like there's not a ton of hard braking zones and places that are very tricky. It's all just about like throwing into high speed corners all over the place. So yeah, the time gain, you know, when you have a lot of similarly paced people, things can look really close. And we'll see when we get into the race. We'll likely have a DRS train for quite a long time, and where in other races we'd have groups of people breaking off from each other as we see pace gaps form and things like that. This is just one of those tracks because if we look at the mini map in the bottom right, see those green circles, man? Those are the DRS detection zones, and they all happen before all of those places where you can gain time on people. So if you gain time through those corners, they pull it back up to you with the DRS. So it's just they definitely need to move those. Those are in terrible spots.
Especially that Maggots and Beckett's one.
And I mean, the turn 3 one is even worse. It's like those
Yeah.
are 2 slow corners where you can gain time on people with really good, rotation and throttle control, but it just doesn't matter if they can just catch up with you because they get DRS. So, I mean, you're right. Both of those are just a very questionable placement of those. But so we're looking like everyone's heading out now. So the lead of that pack is Aaron Green in the AlphaTauri. He'll be the first one to set a lap here. And again, AlphaTauri in the hunt.
And J Street is the last one out, still not out yet.
We're at 2 minutes. We're under 2 minutes, so J Street will not set another time. That is it for J Street. He won't have enough
Interesting.
time to go around, so
Wonder what
uh,
happened there.
well, he's trying to go out now, but he just not have enough time. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on J Street to see if he makes it. We're less than a minute and 30. We're just about a minute 30 now with the time, and he's still in the pit lane.
Yeah, I know. You have to set. Hey, you have to set a quality lap right here.
Yeah, even then, like he's just leaving the pit lane now. We have a minute 20, so yeah, we'd have to be faster than I think a quality lap to get there. We'll see. You have to push. His tires won't be where he wants them, that's for sure. So it looks like the last one in the line until J Street, who J Street probably won't make it, is Fiji in the Mercedes. Him and Avira taking up the rear, and I see Ethan leave the session. So we try to send him an invite before we get our quality runs going here.
There we go. My internet. Trusty internet.
Trusty Texas internet. And have the best internet Ken Paxton has available to us. So we'll hop on board here. Aaron Green on his first push attempt as he's pushing into this first DRS zone towards Sector 2. So Aaron Green with a 27.2 already. We'll see how much he's improved his first sector. 3/10. So into the 26s potentially here. So still well off where we might need to potentially battle into the 25s for pole position. So we will hop on board here with, I believe that's Rigraff right behind him. Rigraff setting the fastest first sector, so 27.2, but we've seen quicker so far this session, I believe. No, this is actually the fastest of the session for Carl, excuse me, not Rigraff. So Carl is pushing quite hard. Looks like somebody may have just beat his first sector time behind him. So Carl will be our first potential pole sitter. Yeah, J Street did not make it. You see the checkered flag next to his name. So J Street, who is sitting on provisional pole, will likely not be able to hold that position as he comes around Stowe into the final few corners. It actually goes into the gravel. You kind of hear that.
Pratt's up 4/10 as well.
Pratt up 4/10. So we'll finish here with Carl, see what his time. We'll just start going down the order as they come through. So Aaron Green with a 26.0 puts him into potential P2. We're going to see some big improvements here from the likes of people like Carl, who puts it on 25. Then we have Chonk finishing his lap. Chonk not putting it on pole. We have Pratty here. 25.8 puts him into potentially P2, and behind him I think we have Man in the Box. Going to finish this first. He's up a half a tenth or half a second, puts him 25.6, so very nice lap time there for him. I believe we have, who is next? We have, I believe, Fiji in front of Avira here. Fiji, not a great lap there, and Avira, not a great lap for Avira either. He did a 26.0, or excuse me, he put in a P4. Okay, yeah, telemetry's just lying to me. I don't actually know what this time is. Telemetry's just straight broken. 25.8 for Avira. Joel putting it in P2. So Man in the Box, pole position, just snug pole there. So Man in the Box with an insane final lap. So we did see Nick Hamrick in the Red Bull in Division 2 putting it on pole, and then running the table for the rest of the race and finishing in P1 also. So that's our finishing order in qualifying. Man in the Box putting it on pole there just by 18 hundredths in front of Joel Garone, excuse me, as his name is properly pronounced. Our championship leader. So Avira down in P4. He's the other championship contender that made it into Q3, Kiwi being out. So starting P15. So a rough road for Kiwi to have any kind of shot at champion. But again, look at Pratty, dude. We're talking about Pratty. He's only 2/10 off of pole. He's in the 25. So absolutely insane session for Pratty. Beating his teammate who has won a race this season, like you pointed out earlier, OG. So Pratty is showing out right now for Ferrari.
And some constructor championship implications here too. Both Alfa Romeo is ahead of the lead Alfa Romeo or AlphaTauri driver. It has given me the Aston Martin car.
So you'll make sure to retire. Just don't do the start and retire.
Yeah,
we don't.
No, I'm actually gonna drive now.
Yeah, here, go take out Joel so that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go drive on the default setup. I'm dive bombing turn 1. Let's go.
We did have a moment of that when we raced Coda where I crashed, rejoined, and it threw me in a car at the start. So I was the only one broadcasting, and I was in a car. So that was a funny little.
You should
moment.
get the best seat in the house.
Yeah, I suppose. I just had to retire quickly. Uh, very goofy moment.
So you're gonna have to take care of the start here, because
All right, here we go. We have lights going now. So man in the box are going to take us off as the lights go out. He's going to take it from the start here. A little bit of a rough start for him. We kind of saw some wheel spin, so Joel may have the impetus there to get in front of him. It looks like he will. Man in the box actually under attack here from Avira. So man in the box starting on hard tires. So
as Avira,
ooh,
who's
lots of
man in the
stuff.
box falling down the order.
Lots of stuff happened there. So man in the box or pole sitter getting into an incident there. Roldy and man in the box now slow coming out of that. See Ethan's dead car rolling at the back as he retired. So Gold electing to go on to hard tires. I think a little bit questionable after the tire strategy we've seen win. I mean, I guess as I say that, Nick did start on hards and win D2, but everyone else started on hards. We did see a lot of wild strategy in D1, lots of mediums and soft starts, with a lot of people just electing not to even touch the hards.
Also, I heard Joel say he wants to overcut everyone. He doesn't want to deal with being held up by anyone. He doesn't want to get into potential incidents. He just wants to overcut everyone and try to get ahead. So hopefully it works out for him as Avira takes it side by side.
Oh, that looks like Steven Alvarez into the wall back there on the exit of Maggots and Beckett's. So,
As Pratty, ooh, little moment with Rigraff falling down positions.
yes.
Pratty is already out of battery. There's, well, for the lap, that's what we're talking about with the race management aspect of it.
Yeah, one thing that I notice in these races, man, is the hard tires are just poop. Hard tires, you just don't use the hards here. It's straight up poop. If you can help it, just don't even use the hard tire. And we kind of even see that rig wrap just being just swarmed by all these soft runners. So towards the back, Kiwi up into P10 on these soft tires. Very nice start for them. We have another slow car. I think it's Steven Alvarez. Oh no! So just disaster class for Williams so far. One of the drivers' game just doesn't work, and Steven Alvarez has to fill in. OG actually overtaking his teammate Pratty there. So OG up into P5, Pratty down to P6.
As it's gonna be side by side 3 cops. No, Joel backs out wisely.
But there was a bit of a gap for Rigraff had lost a little bit of time to the front too, and Carl was able to make up that gap to them with these soft tires. Now Carl in the top 3 as there's a 2-second gap between Carl and Aaron Green.
He has the overtake button on.
Joel, and just under threat of Carl, doesn't want Carl to make anything happen here. Joel, Avira kind of backing out there and giving the position back to Joel, but the fight is still on here. Avira going side by side into these final few corners. Avira backing out.
As Joel goes deep.
Joel going into the lead of the race, but Carl, as we go into lap 3 of our race here, Carl setting the fastest lap on those soft tires. Looks like another yellow flag. We have, I think that's, it's like Logan Sargent may have been caught up in something with McGinnis. Both of them a little bit slow there.
This squabbling has allowed Aaron Green to catch up. He was 2 seconds behind. He's only 1.5 now. If they keep fighting.
Yeah, Aaron Green I'm assuming just dumping his battery. Let me pull this up for us. Yeah, Steven Alvarez already getting 3-second time penalty. And again, telemetry is showing no chance of rain. 18% is our thing, and it's going to go down as the session progresses. But yes, Aaron Green is catching up with his lead pack. OG is actually gapping his teammate Pratty, struggling a little bit on the race pace right now.
OG out in Q2 is currently P5, sizing up a move for P4, and is on the back of the leaders. They're only a second back now.
So with the potential to, big battle here between MJW and Man in the Box. These terrible camera angles need to stop. They just need to quit. Man in the Box backing out of that battle with MJW. Roldy really close to that, kind of getting tapped. I just see Carl taking the lead of the race towards the front. So Carl on the quickest tires right now. It'll be interesting to see how long he can hang on to those how long he can hang on to that lead with the tires he is wearing. Setting the fastest lap again. More yellow flags. Looks like we have Kaginis spinning in the back again. Last time out, we saw Kaginis spinning a lot at China before retiring in the pits. So we have a big train forming in front of, with Pratty at the lead in P6 all the way down to P12. Pratty just losing his teammate just by a lot right now, but still holding people behind him. Fiji big on the battery here, trying to make a move with these hard tires over Pratty. Kind of fakes Pratty out there and causes Pratty to go a little bit deep, but Pratty's still holding on to his position. Fiji trying to make a really long...
On the outside.
Yeah. Pratty leaving
Make a little
space.
contact.
Looks like
Clean.
Yeah, Fiji just has a lot of battery Pratty doesn't have, so he looks like he's going to get this done, and he is. So Pratty now falling down the order even further. The pace just a little bit off right now in the race. We saw some
He's
really
sizing
nice...
a move through Maggots and Beckett's.
Oh, he is. They're going side
go
by
too
side.
wide. Make it work.
Looks like Pratty backed out, and then now Pratty's a little bit of a goofy little moment there. Now Kiwi gets in front of him, so Kiwi...
Now everyone's going to have a run on him.
Yeah, here we have Rigraff having a big run. Now Chong, now Pratty just making the mistake of trying to go too wide. Fiji going really deep there, so now Kiwi actually goes all the way from like P10 to P6 on that lap.
Shaw. Ooh, X out.
So huge battle back here for P6. Kiwi now in the front of that. So Kiwi, he was P15 at the start of the race, is now P6, but well behind his, her teammate of Aaron Green. Another yellow flag. I believe that's MJW who stopped on track. No safety car yet. Looks like any kind of damage for anyone right now.
And so the leaders have looked like they figured it out. They've stopped squabbling. Gap is back to 2 seconds on P4.
Only tabbed myself out. Ochi,
as Aaron Green has a moment, almost loses the car.
Veer actually had a bit of a moment there. He fell out of the DRS delta of Joel, so he's going to have to dump a lot to get back in. He's not going to have enough time to get there before they have DRS again, so this may actually ruin his entire race potentially.
This could literally turn into a two-man race right here.
It really could. So,
and if you're Joel, you're content with that.
Oh yeah. The more space he has, the easier it'll be. Because remember, all he needs to do is finish P6 or higher, and he will secure his championship.
You just let Carl drag you around on his softs while you're on the hards.
Our pole sitter of Man in the Box overtaking Chaos down this back straight. Man in the Box being involved in an incident at the start of the race that put him all the way down to the back, so he's trying to fight his way back up the order.
Rigraff makes a move on Fiji.
Looks like Kaginis again off track, so Kaginis on that struggle bus in the last couple of races. Vera still 1.2 seconds out of Joel, so just 2 seconds behind that DRS, so I would imagine that he is just going to try as hard as he can to try to catch back up, but it's just going to be such a hard time with no DRS. Aaron Green and OG well behind the leaders now. Even with Avira falling out of DRS, they're kind of losing time to Avira, so it looks like they may not be in the battle for any kind of podium until we start seeing how tire strategy starts working for everyone. Back here in P11, we have J Street on the rear of Pratty and Fiji, Chonk and Rigraff with Kiwi leading this train. Kiwi doing a good job, actually. Kiwi might actually close this gap up to Aaron Green. Kiwi not with a lot of battery, but in a really nice spot. Look at that delta, though, of Vera. Vera is really struggling on these mediums right now.
And yeah, this train with Kiwi and Rigraff, as Joel takes the lead, I believe Carl just backed out of that. They're able to swap position for DRS.
Pratty falling even further down the order. Pratty really struggling with these soft tires. And looking at the wear, no, Pratty is on fresh tires on the same amount of wear as OG is his teammate up in P4. Kiwi actually pulling Rigraff away from the rest of the train. Chonk just outside the DRS of Rigraff, so Chonk may not have DRS spinning really deep into turn 1.
But importantly, Kiwi is completely out of battery, blinking already.
Look how close Kiwi is to Aaron Green now. Kiwi's done such a good job of closing up the gap to them. And again, they're putting themselves in a really nice position to score a buttload of points for AlphaTauri, but it's not going to be enough. I believe they have to outscore Mercedes by something like 40 points, which would require some wild late race heroics from both of these drivers. Yeah, it's Kagenis again at the back, spinning out of the final corner. Chaos getting a time penalty. Kiwi going deep there through Tops. Rigraff really close behind them. It's a lot more battery, but Kiwi in DR, but most importantly is in DRS. So now OG is leading the train that Kiwi was leading. So from OG down to Rigraff and P7, that is a train. Rigraff dumping a lot of battery here, maybe looking to make a move on Kiwi. EG overtaking Chonk behind them. No move from Rigraff there.
And Fiji's going to probably look to capitalize when the guys in front of him start fighting so he could get back in that train.
Rigraff going really deep into that penultimate corner there. Excuse me.
Yep, and Fiji's 1.3. 0.4 now.
Looks like we have somebody, Steven Alvarez, this is retiring. Oh no, Steven Alvarez spinning in the final sector. So Steven Alvarez joining the Kagenis struggle bus. So
Aaron Green is on the battery. OG does as well in response.
yeah, we see that those three lead runners, that trio at the lead is just completely running away from the rest of the field right now. OG almost 5 seconds behind just Avira. Avira just struggling to get back into the DRS, the other two cars. I would imagine that Joel, and we watch kind of hopping on board here with Carl. Joel having a bit of a struggle through Maggotts and Beckett's there. The hard tires just suck. They never have a point where they're just clearly the better tire because the tire wear difference between them and the mediums just isn't good enough. And we're just watching from the onboard Carl, Joel just missing every apex in existence. So Avira, with Carl not overtaking him, Avira might actually have an opportunity here with a nice exit through this final corner to launch himself back into the DRS. Let's see, does he not? He's not using his battery here, just kind of hoping he can make something happen. Kind of going back into our second train here for our P4 fight. Kiwi fighting from P15 all the way back up into the top 6. Racing behind their teammate Aaron Green right now, who are on the same strategy. Aaron Green having a big slide there on exit. OG getting a nice little run. So Kiwi dumping her entire battery here, trying to look for a move. Aaron Green just letting her go.
Aaron Green goes defensive.
No, Aaron Green just let her go, just got out of the way.
He was on battery while doing so.
Well, that's just a weird mistake.
That's a little weird.
But yeah, Rigraff in a battle here with Aaron Green. Aaron Green doing a good job of not losing too many positions. Looks like we have Steven Alvarez spinning in the back again. We have Kagenis, who's already been lapped there. We see him a couple of cars are right in front of OG here at the front of this train. And Avira actually in the DRS now, so we'll have DRS on this lap.
Yeah, that was just a mistake from the front runners. I think Carl should have tried to go through.
Yeah, the last lap, Carl electing not to overtake Joel as he's making mistake after mistake.
Yeah, it's been the last few laps.
Rigraff.
It's Rigraff makes a move on Aaron Green.
When he goes really deep, Aaron Green might have a nice little opportunity to get back at him. No, he doesn't push the issue. Steven Alvarez getting another penalty down in P18. So Steven Alvarez having a bit of a struggle.
And they're going to Kiwis.
Very wild place to try to overtake, but it looks like he's going to get it done. Oh, man, OG just trying. This is the worst camera angle of all time.
Rigraff.
So we're going 3 wide looking into turn 3. Rigraff getting in front of OG here. OG going to kind of stick it around the inside. And it looks like OG will be back in front. Rigraff going really wide there. So now Aaron Green may have an opportunity here. Maybe look at something on Rigraff. No, he has a... Rigraff actually have an insane exit. We see Kiwi's battery flashing there in front of both of them. OG kind of going a little bit deep through this corner, but Rigraff still in the fight. Oh, man. Some spicy action here. But they have dropped Fiji. Fiji's actually 2 seconds behind them now. Maybe made a mistake and no longer in that battle. But again, Avira is caught up with those leaders, so I'm assuming he's going to go to lap 14, 15 and go to softs and try to make a run at the win here. I think what you mentioned, Joel, earlier, talking about potentially trying to go for a long overcut. If he goes for a long overcut, he's going to really struggle to catch up at the end because these hard tires are. He is lapping really slow right now.
I will say the only as Kiwi dives into the pits very late.
Okay, Kiwi just going for the YOLO the YOLO undercut. I'd imagine Kiwi is going to go to mediums here and just try to go to the end on ancient tires. If Kiwi goes to hards, Magnus and Kiwi needs to be fired.
I think that was the right move from Kiwi, as they were completely out of battery and are just going to get eaten live on the straight.
Yeah, it's get off them tires, see if you can't make a move to get in front of everyone. But it may force, there he goes, Kiwi on those mediums, so the right call there.
Ochi makes a bit of a mistake, and Rigraph is on the gearbox, and it looks like Ochi just lets him by, does not fight it.
Very easy overtake there for Rigraph. Aaron Green's still in the fight. We have a yellow flag somewhere. Is that Kagenis? Oh, no, that's Chaos, actually. Chaos, who is having a pretty solid race, with the exception of the penalties, losing a few positions there to Snoop Francis and Steven Alvarez.
And out of the front three, both Joel and Avir are at 22% battery, and Carl's at 60%.
Yeah, and then behind them we see Kagenis just riding their DRS a lap down on these new mediums. So Kagenis just trying to slingshot himself back into the lead lap when they finally decide to pit. So let's see. So it looks like Carl going into the pits here. Joel, like you said, staying out. Joel, Carl speed. So that's going to hurt his chances of winning here.
You're not meant to do that.
Yeah, that's not how you do that. But looking back here, Aaron Green going into the pits, OG going into the pits. So all these soft runners are all going in. So Kiwi is triggering everyone to pit here. So let's ride on board here with Kiwi and see what kind of time she's able to make up here. One lap older is not going to be the biggest difference in the entire world. Carl goes on the mediums. Logan Sargent, another penalty.
I thought I saw something. Never mind.
So Kiwi coming around the final couple of corners here, running into the back of some traffic here. Chaos here on these old hards, right in front of her. And it looks like who's this coming out well in front? So Kiwi actually coming out behind Carl. Okay, so Carl coming out well in front. So yeah, Kiwi undercutting OG there by about 2.5 seconds, what it looks like. Looks like Chaos spinning, having a bit of a moment there again. So OG down by about 2 seconds to Kiwi. So Kiwi has a lot of clean air here. So they catch up with these Williams in front of her. Carl in P8, a lot of clean air in front of
got past Hokage without much.
Oh wait, is that a Mercedes? Who just went off? It's Avira. Oh, no, Avira went off in Magus and Beckett's. Now Joel is on his own at the lead. Oh no. Avira, does he have damage? No damage for Avira as far as I can tell.
Joel dives into the pits after that.
Yeah, Joel pits. He knows that he has a lot of clean space. It's just going to be him and Carl. And Carl, again, has that speeding penalty. So Avira, I would imagine, maybe looking to pit too. No, he's staying out. So he's going to commit to pitting or racing until those softs. But look at all this traffic in front of him now. He has all these people have yet to pit in front of him. He lost so much time. Oh, man, that's just a disaster for Avira there. And Avira going off track again as he goes through turn 2. Avira really struggling right now. May actually have damage. It's hard to tell with my telemetry being as wild as it is right now. So Carl coming out in front of Joel, but basically right in front of him. So Joel should be able to catch up with him quite easily. Joel having... And Kiwi kind of stuck behind Snoop Francis back here as they go through Sector 1. So Kiwi well out of the... well behind Joel.
And basically lost his advantage as OG is getting closer as he has to go side by side through the apex.
So yeah, Snoop Francis battling for his life here on these old mediums. So Kiwi getting in front, but OG is in that DRS of these two cars. So OG's back in this fight. Aaron Green well behind both of them. I wonder how that played out for him. Pratty a little bit ways behind them also. A lot of people
Yeah,
still.
Pratty double stacked behind OG. Don't know what the call was there.
Big battle here between Fiji and Chonk. They go through the final sector.
Because
This is the issue with
OG,
Avira. It's like just adding insult to injury for Avira. It's Avira well out in front of this train here led by Chonk on these old hard tires. Now at the back of it, still has yet to pit. Who should pit on this lap?
and we said Joel should be able to catch Carl pretty easily. Carl has gained. It's now a 2 second gap between the two. Obviously, for Joel, you don't really need it, but he did not gain like he should have. He came out like 1.5 seconds behind.
OG actually losing the DRS of Kiwi as Snoop Francis pit. So right now, OG does not have the DRS. Kiwi still has a little bit of clean air until they catch up with Roldy, about 3.5 seconds. Still have a lot of hard runners just going really long here. I would imagine all of these hard runners will be pitting to soft tires where they're at, but Joel and Carl have cut into their advantage by a lot, so they're going to have a lot of work to do to fight for these podium positions. We do have potential right now with our net race. Kiwi is on the podium as Avira had that big moment losing out on that P3 and now just stuck in this awful traffic. They have to pit Avira here. There's no other There's no other choice. This is such a disaster. And there's Kagenis again at turn 1.
Because there's a battle into the pit lane as both of them get
Both of
speeding
them
in the pit
speed.
lane.
All right, well, that's you play with fire, you get burned kind of moment right there. Avira electing to stay out because they decided to pit. So Avira going to go around 1 or 2 more times, but Avira, looking at where we're at, Avira is going to be in like P12 or something when he finally pits. So it's going to be a long road to fight back up towards the podium.
And I'm gonna just screenshot this, send this to the Alpine owner. It's a 1-3 right now. Don't ignore the fact that Rigraph has not pitted yet.
Well, the benefit for Rigraph is he is almost 7 seconds ahead of Avira, who had a similar gap, I think, to him before he spun.
And he's getting DRS from this back marker
from
right
Kagenis,
here.
so
Yeah.
that's very nice for Rigraph. So what's the plan? Do you think Rigraph is going to pit on this lap? Maybe finally put on them softs?
I think right now for sure.
So far
Has
we
to
haven't
be.
had
Unless-
anyone pit from the. Well, we haven't had a lot of hard runners. A lot of the hard runners all went on a medium, so literally no one on the soft tire yet. I'd imagine both him and Avira will be the last ones to finally put on that tire. I guess Avira now actually is thinking about safety
Rigraph
cars.
stays out.
So Rigraph stays out. So I wonder if Avira might just be having a helmet just to kind of a little bit of desperate play here to see if he can't stay out until a safety car potentially comes out as Chonk leaves the session. So Chonk's internet issues have returned, it appears, or his game crashed, one of the two. Looks like Kagenis is spun again at the final corner.
Okage finally in the pit lane.
Roldy finally into the pit lane. What will Roldy put on? The long way to his pit box will kind of look. So the issue with these pit stops is it kind of broke everyone up. Actually, OG actually catching back up to Kiwi. So OG back in the fight for the potential podium, the final podium position here tonight. EG and Chonk, I guess Chonk, who is still disconnected, I believe. Yeah, he's getting ghosted. Man in the box
in the way,
passing
yeah.
right through him. Again, is spinning again. Again, is just having the worst night of his life. But OG again, still in that DRS of Kiwi. We're about 10 laps to go until the end of this race. Arl well in front as our net leader right now, but is sporting that 5-second time penalty. Man in the box getting in front of Fiji here. Both of these guys on the same strategy, or excuse me, man in the box on 1 lap older mediums and Fiji. Fiji with a time penalty. Chonk rejoining the session, but Chonk has lost a lot of time falling out of the DRS.
Rigraph still stays out.
So Rigraph is just going for the suicide strategy of maybe a safety car will come out. Because Rigraph is lapping in the 31s right now. A lot of the field is lapping in the 29s and 30s, so Rigraph is losing a ton of time. I guess Rigraff is playing the safety car game as well. Just who cares? Like it don't even matter. We're just let's just see if we can't get a lucky safety car. But with this field spread out as much as it is right now, we don't have a lot of battles going on. So we have OG and Kiwi fighting here for the final net podium. There's Kaganis.
There are yellows.
There goes Kaganis spinning around the final corner for our
And he's they're just seeing all these yellows, hoping one of them becomes a safety car.
just has spun basically every other lap at that corner, and then likes to spin also at turn 3. So we'll just hop on board here with Kaganis, see if Kaganis can make it through this first sector.
Zutz has bit a little bit into the gap of Carl.
Kaganis making it through sector 1 there without spinning, so but does go off track.
And in the box makes a move on Pratty.
But Pratty still in the fight here, but Pratty's on pretty old tires compared to Fiji and Man in the Box here. J Street 2 seconds behind this battle. Pratty showing really nice qualifying pace. Still has a little bit of work to do for his race pace. Avira being overtaken
and here's something
by
interesting.
Carl.
Yeah, Joel is about to catch up to Avira. What sort of games, if there are any, does Avira try to play here?
Just slam on the brakes. Mid straight here.
As Rigraff dives into the pit lane.
Rigraff finally pitting. So Rigraff is going to be well behind the leaders here. Let's see. Avira still staying out on these completely ancient medium tires. His tire wear isn't too bad yet. Showing 50%, but I'm hard to say. There's Kaganis spinning through Magus and Beckett's. On the mini map, you see that white dot down there, slow in the yellow flags.
Oh, Joel has a big moment behind the back of Avira.
Oh man. Okay, so he still has DRS. Carl's still not that far in front. So Rigraff coming out, looks like P10 right in front of Chonk on fresh soft tires. So he is a ways away from Key right now. Roldy setting the fastest lap down in P14. I'd imagine Rigraff with these fresher tires than Roldy have a really nice opportunity to make something happen. But Rigraff, big battle there with Chonk. Chonk trying to drive me into the side of him. Gonna make a move here, but Rigraff is these tires are gonna have so much more grip.
Just easy around the outside.
Well, they're still side by side as we go in towards Cops. But just more grip. Yeah, Chonk having to back out there. Rigraff getting in front. Rigraff easily sticking this corner here, but with no battery and no DRS for Rigraff.
Is Avira will try to force the issue?
Oh, we'll go back towards the front here. Yeah, Joel overtaking Avira. OG overtaking Kiwi. Safety! Oh, VSC! Oh, man. Woo, that would have thrown a wrench into things. But I mean, Avira can still pit, right? I mean...
No, he missed the pit box.
Oh, he missed the pit box. Okay, so Avira is not happy, I would imagine, with that timing. So... unlucky. Only VSC. Looks like 6 laps to go, 7 laps to go for us.
We could see some drive-thrus though.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look. Joel gets a drive-through. Things can turn on its head quite quickly. And suddenly Kiwi may be in the position to take a potential championship here. But we're looking at Avira, who has yet to pit in P3 and getting a 3-second time penalty under the VSC. That's a little unfortunate.
Shout out Raptor.
Shout out Raptor. Raptor, who I'm not sure.
He got one.
Chaos got a drive through. So who else got a drive through? Looks like just Chaos with the drive through. So the VSC has ended. Joel just under 2 seconds behind. Carl with the 5-second speeding penalty. OG 9 seconds behind the Avira on these fresher mediums. So OG right now is our net P3.
Kiwi.
He has dropped Kiwi, so a nice jump off the VSC. So now Kiwi's gonna have to fight her way back up to the back of OG to fight for the final podium position in our final race here in CRL. Rigraff overtaking Pratty with another yellow flag. So Kaganis deciding to retire into the pits, worried about causing a safety car after causing. Actually, I'm not sure if he caused the VSC.
And his car will come back onto the track, hopefully not in a weird way.
Spicy battle here. Fiji actually getting in front of a lot of people here. Man in the box, and he's holding in front of Rigraff. Rigraff going side by side with Man in the box. Avira finally pitting, so putting on soft tires here. So the battle for the podium is going to be between Carl and Joel, OG and Kiwi. Rigrap getting in front of man in the box here now is close behind Fiji. Not a lot of battery for all of these guys here as we scroll through them. It's like Fiji actually 52, Rigrap 16, man in the box 67, Chonk behind him with 10%. Looks like Chonk just really wants to try to make an overtake happen, but he does not have the battery economy to make a move here. Kiwi actually...
Rigraph just...
Yeah, Rigraph is just... His tires are just so much better than everyone's right now. But Fiji doing a good job of keeping him behind. Fiji did it... Or not Fiji. Kiwi did a really good job actually closing that gap back up to OG. So back in that DRS for both of them as we approach the end of this race. Looks like Rigraph just trying to put Fiji out of the position, out of any kind of position, make this overtake a little bit easier. And he's going to dump his battery here and just go for the move here on Fiji. But there we see in front of them Aaron Green, who is 2.2 seconds ahead of them. So with these new tires and with Aaron Green's tires being as old as they are, Rigraph has a really nice opportunity to catch up Aaron Green.
3-second MGW as well.
Now we're looking, let's take a look back here, right on board here with Chonk, kind of at the back of this middle train here. Actually, right on board here.
As Fiji's going to use his... Oh, no. Gets off of it. Rigraph has closed the gap to Aaron Green.
Rigraph will be in DRS on this lap by the way this pace looks. Hop on here with Goldie back here fighting Steven Alvarez for P13. Both of them with quite a few penalties right now. Both of them sitting at 6 seconds of track limit penalties. Not really close enough to make an overtake here, so we'll come back to see any kind of battle here. Rigraph just cutting through the field right now on these new soft tires. And Joel actually falling off of the pace of Carl. You have a yellow flag.
So Williams.
It's like Snoop Francis, I believe. No, it's Steven Alvarez. Steven Alvarez just stopped on track.
As Rigraph makes it past Aaron Green without any issues.
Steven Alvarez driving backwards. Okay, he's back on the track now. No safety car. That's probably the last opportunity for any kind of safety car.
So Aaron Green goes really deep. Oh, and hits the inside of Fiji, and Aaron Green is around.
That's disastrous for him, but probably takes AlphaTauri out of the hunt for the Constructors' Championship now that both of the AlphaTauri drivers are behind both the Alfa Romeo drivers, respectively. Vera closing in on Aaron Green here on these super new soft tires, but he's just so far behind everyone because he pits so late. We'll have a battle here between Man of the Box and Fiji, side by side. Steven Alvarez, another time penalty. Snoop Francis has left the session. And Steven Alvarez is retired. So he retired, it looks like, in the pit lane. So potential no points for Williams.
As Fiji and Man in the Box, it's Mercedes on Red Bull, side by side. They make it stick.
No one killed each other this time. Chonk has a nice view of that from behind. Side by side through Magus and Beckett's they go. Chonk actually getting a really nice run of Man in the Box. They kind of run into each other there on the exit of Maggot's corner. It looks like Chonk is going to have a really nice run on Man in the Box. But again, Chonk,
but he has no battery.
No battery, and Man in the Box has a lot more. We'll see. Does Chonk try to do anything desperate here? No, Chonk just has to hold position for now.
Bike sends a move. Man in the Box looks down the inside, does not make it. Up front, Carl is 3.8 seconds ahead. Can he build 5 seconds?
I feel like if Joel lets Carl win a race in D3, everyone needs to... I don't know, what would we do?
We give Alpine every single point.
That's not how that would
available.
work. We just disqualify Carl just for fun.
No, that's illegal.
Yeah. So Chonk making a move here on Man in the Box. Man in the Box having a bit of a rough exit there out of turn 4. Pratty just outside the DRS, so maybe Pratty might be in this fight, but his tires are older than everyone else in front of him. Rigraff, a long way to catch up with Kiwi, but let's take a look at these lap times. Rigraff did a 29.4 last lap. Kiwi did a 30.8. So with that pace, he might be on the back of Kiwi right at the last.
Especially if whenever Kiwi tries to start fighting Cam for that final for the final podium position.
One thing to kind of notice is that OG is just sitting on his battery. OG's up to 56% on his battery. Kiwi's having to use a little bit of battery to keep up with him. So we may be in a position where...
I think he's waiting for that moment when Kiwi actually attacks, and he's waiting for the end, because everyone knows you still have to deal with that long DRS at the very last lap where we saw Eruption and Ryan go side by side last night.
More battles between Fiji and Chong. These guys have been going at it. And Man in the Box has been going at it for so long.
They're going side by side into turn 1. And
Looks
Fiji,
like Fiji
gets a 3-second.
Cut the corner and got a track
for his troubles.
So no
we see that get removed. A
little bit of a tap there from Fiji on the back of Chonk. Keep an eye on that delta from Rigraff. And he's on these new tires, so he has a really good opportunity to just cut that lead down. And these guys are just battling side by side every lap now. Fiji getting back in front, but going quite deep, and Chonk hitting the apex there. Now they're going to go side by side, little contact there. But Fiji,
really good racing.
Yeah, Fiji coming out on top on that. Man in the Box just biding his time at this point. Pratty actually back in the fight here, so he's just 2/10 behind Man in the Box.
Chonk's gonna make it side by side again through cops.
Oh, okay. No, I thought Fiji was spinning. No, he's good. Just weird camera angle. So Fiji back behind. So now Chonk won't have DRS on this back straight. With Man in the Box so close behind them, potentially 2 positions lost if a lot of people dump here. Right on board here with Pratty. See what kind of happens in front of him. Now he's a little bit too far back. So let's try on Fiji here. Fiji going for the move. Kind of dummy the inside. Man in the Box not closing the gap. So they go side by side right on here. Go right on board with Man in the Box as they go side by side for the 100th time of these last few laps. Fiji going super narrow on that corner. Now they're contact. Man in the Box almost running him off the track, and that gives Fiji an opportunity again on the outside. So side by side into turn 1 again. Fiji going super wide. Ooh, Man in the Box getting closer and closer. And Pratty is still in that fight too. Pratty going around the outside of Man in the Box. So Pratty, look at this battling. Now J Street's in it, Avira's in it. So now we have a 5-car battle.
I mean that's a potential. This is for P6 for Pratty because the other 2 in front have time penalties.
Yeah, that's a good point. So Pratty, this tire strategy again. They're going side by side again. How many more times can they go? Can they make this work without killing each other? So far, very impressive from both of them. But yeah, they're putting themselves at huge risk at these people catching up.
Can we give this battle of the season potentially?
They're just going at it for this. This like 4 laps in a row, side by side, but no side by side through cops this time. Fiji Chonk trying to play a little DRS check in there, not working at all. So now Chonk is at the front of this train. Rigraff only 2 seconds behind of Kiwi in front. So Kiwi actually maybe looking to make an overtake on OG. No move there. So we'll move back to our Chonk Fiji cage match, whatever you want to call this. Fiji getting in front of Chonk. Avira actually fighting, I believe, J Street back here. So Avira getting in front of J Street. They're still side by side going through this final sector here. Oh, J Street going over the curb and they crash into each other. So that's, oh no, J Street. Avira has literally no luck. So Aaron Green getting back in front of Avira.
As Chonk is sizing up a move once again on Fiji, who's defensive.
And we're on our final lap now, so looking at the deltas here between Kiwi. Rigraff not in the fight yet. Carl left the session. Carl's game crashes on the last lap. So
how many positions will he lose?
So look at that delta to Joel just dropping and dropping. No way OG catches that, but Chonk and Fiji going side by side. Here we go through this middle sector. We have Man in the Box really close behind Pratty. And J Street, who went over that sausage curve, murdering Avira, well behind them now. So we only have 4 cars in this little midfield fiesta, but in front of them, we'll have Kiwi coming out of Magus and Becca's with a lot of battery. OG with about the same amount of battery. Kiwi not really close enough to make a move.
I don't think he'll be able to get the move done.
Yeah, she is just way too far behind. Let's see, does she try to send it? Just really good exit here. OG a little bit wide. Oh, actually,
does get the exit.
So, big sin from Kiwi. Oh my!
Dive bomb.
OG fighting back. Kiwi went so deep, going side by side toward the line. Who's gonna have it? Looks like OG. Oh, it's OG. Kiwi gets the podium right at the end. BG. Oh my God! Good Chonk.
Shades of last night where they also crashed at the final.
So BG and Chonk with all these penalties. That puts Rigraff into P5 and Pratty into P6. So what a finish for Pratty. And then what a fight back for Man in the Box, who was P18 at the end of lap 1. Or at the beginning of lap 1 when he was caught up in that incident. So now a really nice recovery drive for him. Really tragic drive for Rivera, who had a big spin and then got completely murdered by J Street's mistake. So we saw an absolute... this has been just... the absolute masterclass D3 fiesta. Carl with this game crashing or him quitting or whatever happening. Joel, I'm not sure how we score that actually. If we can score that at all, he didn't finish the race.
Who?
Carl.
Well, I guess they would count as because he completed 90%.
Yeah, but I mean, just like, does he get to finish his race, though, if his AI drove the rest of it? I mean, it was like the last lap, wasn't it? So we'll have to look back at it, but... absolute...
Oh, what? Those last few laps between Fiji and Chonk.
Just side by side.
They still managed to keep it together.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, it was great racing, but but both of them absolutely killed their own races, because they were fighting for, what, P5? Yeah. And now they finished P9 and P11. So, because they battled, they were fighting for so long, everyone got into their penalty deltas. So, and then insane little sin from Kiwi at the end there. So Kiwi fighting back from P15 on the grid. Insane final race there. Final send from Kiwi. If we had instant replay, I would show that 500 times. That was such an insane send. So let me pull this through here. Make sure we get all the intervals for our standings. Ethan just classic DNFing on lap 1.
Oh yeah, they just
grab the race director for everyone. Case that okay. So let me up our. This is the finishing order, I believe. Telemetry has been super finicky all night. I don't know if it was actually working correctly. We have that. Let's see. So, see if we can't get some people into the waiting room. So some spicy conversations happening in the E3 chat.
Reading it. I know what move. I know what move is being talked about.
No, it's not Kiwi, man. It's
no. I know. I know.
Okay. All right, so it looks like our people here are in the waiting room. So in P3, after getting knocked out in Q2, and then having to start the race in P15, and then with the most insane send I think we've seen all season, with the exception of whatever Garrett was doing in Las Vegas. Kiwi finishing on the podium in the most spectacular fashion. Kiwi, I know this doesn't put you into, P1 in the championship, but still an absolute insane ending for you. How do you feel after that?
I feel amazing, honestly. That was probably the biggest send of my life. Props to Campbell for leaving some room. But yeah, I was really locked in for that race, sending it everywhere.
So when you had to start back in, or what were you? I know you had an issue with maybe some people blocking you in the middle of Q2. Then you invalidated your final go. What were you thinking? What you might be able to do when you were starting so far down the order?
Um, honestly, all I knew how to do was start on those softs and then just completely send it. Um, I was a lot more aggressive this race than I have been in previous races, so. But yeah, it turned out great.
Well, yeah. So Kiwi, like after last season, I think we mentioned this before. Last season, you kind of just drove at the back of the D2 grid since we had two
Yeah.
divisions. And then this season, you just come in swinging. How many podiums you get? Is this your fourth or fifth podium now? I have the standings. Let me actually pull them up. I can just
Like
look.
4 or 5.
4 or 5. Let's see. So looking at this, you had a P2 in Japan, a P3 in Vegas, a P3 at a random track at Azerbaijan. I'm a P3 at Australia. So this is podium number 5. So 50% podium
Hey.
finish rate for you, Kiwi. So congratulations on just a spectacular season from you and your
Thank you.
teammate. Is there anything you wanted to say before we closed out this game?
Um, I would say it's been a lot of fun racing with everyone. I know some other drivers maybe not so much, but this season has been really fun for me.
Shots.
So, yeah.
All right, well,
And yeah,
Kiwi.
thanks to
Yeah.
sorry, it was thanks
No, go ahead.
to the league for having me here. It's been really fun, really great.
So again, congratulations, Kiwi, on this fantastic season. I hope we get to see more in the future on the next game. Yeah, I look forward to it, and good luck in the future.
Yeah, thank you. See you
A
guys.
really consistent season. Good job.
Yeah, thanks.
And in P2, we have the Care Bear himself, Carl Barons, who clearly sandbagged all season so he can race the final season with his actual pace, or the final race with his actual pace.
I did 2 races.
Yeah,
I
we had
didn't
this
spin
all
this
planned out.
time.
All planned out.
What
Team
do you mean? I
principals, you did
spun
this.
all 3 previous races, and then I do 1 race, I don't spin, and I have a good finish. And I actually did practice. So yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely see that you're practicing. So
I know I did.
no,
Ask
that's what I'm
EJ.
saying. I wasn't. I was just
Oh,
saying.
okay.
Yeah. So P2, I know you got that speeding penalty. Did you?
Hey, that was Panini's fault.
How was that? But did he give you the wrong breaking point?
No, he didn't tell me that, like, you're supposed to brake before the racing line tells you. He told me that after I went
Oh.
into the pit lane. Which is very useful.
Well,
That-
you
that
said
was
you
Panini's
practiced. So I
fault.
guess you didn't practice that.
No, I just did time trial.
Of course.
Okay.
It works.
Fair enough. All right. Well, so yeah, I mean, you had 3 races here, or you had what 3? This is your
4.
3rd race, 4th race.
I think 4th.
Okay, 4 races.
3 or 4, yeah.
So now I know. Now, I mean, I know it's really unlikely for you to join us again anytime in the future since this isn't really your forte anymore. But how did you like? What was your experience with the few races you did this season?
It was fun. I mean, I enjoy Formula racing still. I just wish the game was a bit better, so I could actually like see it's worth my time putting into it. But I mean, I still enjoy racing. Um, I mean, we'll see how the new game is. See if it's worth buying. Maybe I'll come back just for fun.
I mean,
We'll
that's what
see.
we're here
I
for.
don't know.
Number one is
Yeah.
fun, right? So yeah.
I do want to talk about the disconnect at the end. The
Sure.
game just it just I was going through cops and then Spanini says I disconnected and I was like, what do you mean? I'm still driving.
One of those little decent, a
And then
little
the
bit of
game and
decent.
then he's like, no, and then I was in the VC with Joel and then he's like, no, you disconnected. You overtook me or something. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because the
The penalty.
speeding penalty, but still. Yeah, I was so confused by that.
Carl, thank you for hopping in here with us,
Yeah,
and thank
fair
you
enough.
for finishing out this season for us. So
Yeah, nice job.
yeah, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
the podium.
Thanks for not hitting regraph.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I when we were together, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna use battery. You just go ahead. I'm not gonna fight you. And then I forgot he was on hards, so I just overtook him. But yeah.
All right.
Alrighty, thank you guys. Have a good one.
See you.
And then for the final time on F1 23. And for the last race in Zoom Racing League in Season 10 and F1 23 and all that jazz, Joel Guron finishes us out with a big W and securing his first divisional championship in ZRL. So congratulations, Joel.
What's up?
What? Nah, get him out. Revoke his championship.
Weebs are people too, Ethan. So, Joel, how are you feeling? I know that wasn't maybe the most exciting race of all time for you. There was a lot of stuff happening behind you.
Yeah.
But how do you feel, man? You won your first championship. Won a bunch of races and stuff.
It's gonna have sandbagging next to it.
Yeah,
Everyone's gonna say
little
sandbag.
asterisks.
yeah, instead of a trophy, you'll just have a sandbag next to your name. Well, I
But
mean,
yeah, it was a scary first few laps because I didn't know who was ordered to take me out, so I was kind of on the defense.
Oh, let's just say no one's getting any money because no one did it, man. No one did it.
no one took out Ryan. No one
I
took out
offered
Joel.
the whole game to 2 people, dude. Can you believe it?
So
I think Avira took out Man in the Box.
it was hard to see. It kind of got swallowed up in all of the stuff happening on turn 1. I'm not sure what happened. I'll have to.
Hold up, pause. D3 General is popping off.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit ago.
I don't know. You might want to read the last one.
Okay. What were we
Yeah.
talking about?
So, oh, I'm sorry. We were talking about Joel. You like? I hear you like college football. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just trying to change the subject.
Yeah. I mean, Mavericks are ass.
Whoa.
They are toast this next season.
I don't know, man. I think Joel should be pick 1 D2 next season.
We'll
And
see. So,
Yeah, for McLaren.
Lol.
So yeah, I mean, I don't
great
know.
season.
Yeah, great season, Joel. I don't think we have anywhere to go anymore with this,
Yeah.
but congratulations,
Won both
dude.
championships.
Yeah, you won. Yeah, you won both championships. So I'm sure will be happy with the constructors. You guys will get to choose a track. for
Yeah,
next
but we
season.
didn't get we didn't get second. So
Um,
I don't know. I could blame it on D1 and D2. So
yeah, you can. You can blame Piche for smashing his brake pedal or whatever he broke.
yeah,
All that. Well, and what was the other dude that the chump that left after one race? Or
I don't even know. Forgettable.
Nathan Delisle. Oh, whatever. So yeah, Joel, do you have any final words for this season and F1 23 and whatever else?
No, just keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for what you do. And F you, Ethan.
Okay.
JK, love you.
Thank you,
Okay.
I want to play
Joel.
soundboard, but this is gonna get the video taken down.
You think so?
Whoa.
Mm,
Live footage from Joel's car.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's watching this anymore. All right.
that's what I just did on the D3 grid.
That is what you just did. That's true. All right, we'll just wrap this up, Ethan. Do you have anything you want to say? I know you didn't do a lot of broadcasts. But
No, I mean, I sat on the sideline this season, really. I mean, even as a team principal, I feel like I kind of let my team down. But overall, man, I know you took over this league. It's really been a pleasure seeing you make your changes, seeing what you can do as leader, and it's definitely been tough, right, with the amount of people we have. But you were able to build this D3, and I mean, we got 19 people in the final race, and had some really good racing through it all. So, I mean, like, thank you for doing what you do. You know, seeing Zoom Racing League thrive, being here from like really early on. And hopefully we get another great season on the new game. Hopefully it's better than what we had the last few seasons and continue to grow.
That's the hope. That is definitely the hope. We'll see. There's no way for me to know how next season's gonna be, so we'll just kind of ride with it and see what we. I'm got my fingers crossed. Hope the game will be decent enough that we can keep on, keeping on. So we'll go and wrap this up. This is me and Ethan signing off for the final time on F123. Everyone, I thank you guys for racing with us and all that jazz. We will see you guys in a few weeks.